which gives us the opportunities and the threats that the businesses might face. So we start with opportunities. Opportunities. The external audit should show up what opportunities are available to the business. These are the options or openings that the business might be able to exploit, resulting in improvements such as a higher revenues or lower cost. Example might include. So before we go into the examples of opportunities, when we talk about opportunities, basically we're talking about what is out there that the business can exploit. So what are those things we could do? What are those things that will increase our revenue? What are those things that will reduce our cost of production? These are what opportunities are. What are the latest things in the market? Can we dwell into it and it will give us revenue? So basically, when we talk about opportunities in the market, we are talking about things the business could do out there that would enable it to increase its revenue or reduce its cost of production. Examples of opportunities are: one, a new overseas market opening up following a political change. A new market abroad. So when you have a new market abroad, for example, when your product is getting saturated locally, now that there's an opportunity to sell abroad, that means you have a large customer base. That's an opportunity. It means the business will be able to have customers, foreign customers. So that's an opportunity which the business must also try to exploit. Two, a fall in the cost of an essential raw material such as oil. Maybe there's a fall in the cost of production, there's a fall in the raw materials used for production. So it is important for the business to make use of the opportunity. Because if it's able to make use of the opportunity of a reduction in the cost of a reduction in the raw materials used, it means its cost of production would also fall. That's an opportunity. Low interest rates which provide cheap finance for investment. This comes through monetary policy of government. And monetary policy is not it's beyond the control of the business. So if the government of the country or the central bank of the country decided to reduce the interest rate, it's an opportunity for the business to borrow more and invest in capital goods. So that's a low interest rate, which is also an opportunity. A fall in the exchange rate, which will make exports cheaper. Another opportunity in the market is a fall in the country's exchange rate. So if there is a fall in the country's exchange rate, it means businesses that are dealing with exports will be able to sell more, and that's also an opportunity because it increases their revenue. Some difficult regulations being abolished. Deregulation. So maybe before now there are some laws that are difficult, that are not flexible. But these days, the government of the country or the government of the country that you used to sell to have started with there's deregulation. And when there's deregulation, it becomes an opportunity for the business to exploit. And the last one, the failing of a major rival in the market. One of the biggest competitors is leaving the market. And if one of your biggest competitors is leaving the market, it becomes an opportunity for you to grab its customers. So you can leverage on that and win the customers it's leaving behind. Because that means competition reduces in the market. So we'll go to threats. When we talk about threats, these are also gathered through external audits. So what are threats? The external audit should show up what threats face the business. Threats are the possible dangers that have the potential to damage the performance of the business. Examples might include. Before we go to the examples, for threats, we're talking about factors beyond the control of the business that can hinder the performance of the business. These are what we call threats. So what are examples of threats here? Well, one, we have a new entrant in the market. When we have a new entrant in the market, it is beyond the control of the business because the business cannot stop new businesses coming into the market. So if a new entrant is coming into the market and it's going to do well, it's doing well, it means you'll be losing your customers to these new businesses. They might come up with a very big idea, a reduced price for products because they are new. They might use penetrating pricing. So if they are using penetrating pricing, they might be snatching away your customers. So that's a threat which you need to work on as a business. A rival employing a new and highly successful CEO. Your competitors or your rival is employing a highly skilled, valuable director, which means he or she would have a strategic plan to take your customers away from you, to take your market share. So it is a threat also. So the business has to quickly respond to that and find a way around it. A probable recession. When we talk about recession, we're talking about a decline in economic activity for 2 successful quarters. So if there is decline in economic activity, it will definitely affect all the businesses. So it's beyond the control of the business. So it is important for the business to try to change its objective at that period of time. Maybe the objective is to maximize profit. And with recession, profit is not certain, then you should just think about survival. That is about recession there. New legislation, in essence, laws aimed at improving the rights of employees. There might be employment laws, new employment laws that improve the rights of employees. These are costs, and these are what businesses must certainly work on. If not, they could face legal action from government. So when governments want certain things, it has to be done. Legislations are not something we can fight away around. We can fight against. We can only work around it and make plans for it, because it has to be done. It has to be enforced. Increasing pressure from environmentalists, maybe pollution. Yeah, environmentalists, they are pressure group. They want the environment to be free. They want the environment to be off pollution. They want the environment not to be polluted. They want a clean and safe environment. As a result, it might be a threat to your business. So it is important for the business to start thinking about strategies that would to start thinking about production methods that will be environmentally friendly. As that's about that. A change in social attitudes towards the business key products. So this is about the societal change, customer behavior, what the societies are thinking about your products, what the customers are thinking about your service, consumer spending pattern. These things can change, and if they change, there's nothing the business can do than to find a way around them. So these are also threats to the business. So customers might stop buying your product. Society might stop buying your product. They start, maybe because it is saturated, it is outdated. So you start to think about innovative way, or start to think about inventing new products so that they can come back to buy. So that's about threats to the business. So SWOT analysis is often carried out in mind mapping sessions before being documented. In essence, officially recorded. It can be a powerful way of summarizing and building upon the results of internal and external audits. Clearly, it will be a useful tool when developing a corporate strategy, but it may have other uses. For example, but before we go into that, so with SWOT analysis, it allows the business to really map out things, to be able to, to lift its position within the market. So other examples that SWOT analysis will help about is one, to decide which new products to launch. So with your SWOT analysis, with your internal audit or external audit, you'll be able to know if you need to come up with a new product and launch a new product. Design a new marketing strategy. With your internal and external audits, you compare and contrast, and you find out that there are other things you are not doing well. You understand your weakness. Then improve upon the weakness. You understand the threats in the market. Try to find a way around the threats in the market. Come up with a marketing strategy so that you can start selling again. Decide whether to outsource a specific business task or activities such as IT. It might be through internal audit, and you find out that a certain department is not doing well within the organization, and if that department is not doing well, maybe you just have to outsource the roles, the function of that department to a specialist firm to get the job done better and efficient way. Prepare for a completely new business venture. It might be that after the internal, with the summary of the internal and external audit, it might be that the business has to just start afresh, find a new product or a new business to do. Prepare for a completely, plan a restructuring of the business. Maybe through the SWOT analysis, the internal and external audit, it might mean that the management board is not doing well, so you need to get a new management board on board, so as the business can just start again and a fresh start. Finally, by identifying clearly the strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats, that's the SWOT, it may be possible to improve the performance of a business. However, this will depend on the actions it takes after carrying out the analysis. For example, performance will only improve if the business acts to remove known weaknesses. So finally, when you identify clearly the strengths and the weaknesses of your business, it means you are able to understand what the business should do well, what the business is not doing well, what the business is doing well, what your competitors are doing that you are not doing well, and the opportunities in the market. So it is not just identifying them, taking an action, executing, finding a way to execute an action towards these things, especially the threats and the weakness of the business. It is important for the business to work on them, and if the business can work on them, it puts the business in a better position in the market. So this ends SWOT analysis. Thank you so much.